everybody, it's Pam here with Rack and Arrow Outdoors. Welcome back to another episode in our Planning for Hunting Season series. Today I will be showing you how I make my wild game chili. We'll be starting off today with our ingredients already prepped and ready to go. So we have 2 tablespoons of butter, an onion small dice, some garlic minced, brown sugar, tomato paste, beef broth or chicken broth, tomato sauce, diced tomato and garlic, kidney beans, beans and tomato sauce, cumin, oregano, chili powder, salt, pepper, and today we are using some deer as our wild game meat. Okay, so we're going to start with our butter. I've heated up my Dutch oven to about medium-ish heat for about 5 minutes. I'm going to throw in 2 tablespoons of butter and let that melt. Add in my onion and garlic. I buy already diced up garlic just because it's easier. And it's about 3 cloves in there. I'm going to let that saute just for a couple minutes. So right now we just want to pull out the flavor. We don't want to brown this up. We're doing something called sweating, and what that means is that we're trying to pull out moisture and flavor, because the more flavor we can pull out of this while it's sauteing, the better. At this point, I like to just throw a little bit of salt in here just to help pull some of that flavor out. All right, that's looking pretty good. So let's get our 2 tablespoons of brown sugar in. I like the brown sugar because I use homemade tomatoes, homemade canned tomatoes. I find them are a little bit more acidic, so I like the brown sugar just to kind of sweeten it up just a touch. Next up is our tomato paste. And now we're going to add our ground meat. This is deer. We do not put any pork in our grind. It is just straight up delicious wild game. I'm just going to go through and break that up. Once the meat is almost finished cooking through, I like to add in my seasonings. So here we've got chili powder, cumin, oregano, salt, pepper. We start with just a small amount, and as it cooks we adjust our seasonings, starting off with a tablespoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of oregano, and then about a teaspoon of salt, plus the salt that we added to our onions, and some pepper, about a 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon of that. So we're going to let that cook up just a little bit to allow those spices to come to life. All right, that's looking perfect. Okay, so our next step is to add the rest of our ingredients. So we do our, this case I'm doing chicken broth just because I have a small fridge and that's what I have open in the fridge, so I didn't want to open up a beef. But obviously beef broth would do well here. If you are making your own venison broth, that would also be excellent here. So I'm just adding in some diced tomatoes. I really like these garlic and olive oil diced tomatoes. I find they give it a really nice flavor. Add in a can of partially drained kidney beans. I know that if you are from the US, Texas area, I guess, you're probably cringing right now, but where we're from here in Alberta, Canada, we put beans in our chili, and lots of them. And then finally, my homemade freshly canned tomato sauce I made just the other day. And stir that all up and mix it all together. So you might notice that it's quite thin right now. That's what we want. We want this to cook down. We want to give it room to reduce. So we're going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to back it to a simmer, and we're just going to crack the lid and allow that to cook for about 1.5 to 2 hours. We want it to reduce by 1/3 to 1/2-ish of what it is. So it'll be nice and thick. So we'll be back in a few. So once we get up to a nice boil, just like this, I'm going to back it down to about between, I don't know, medium and medium low. And we're just going to allow it to simmer with the lid off for about a half an hour. And then I'm going to put the lid on and crack it and just allow it to cook out for another 45 minutes to an hour. All right, everyone, welcome back. So this little baby's been simmering away here for about an hour and a half or so. You can see how nice and thick and beautiful that looks now. So now we're going to take this off. This would be ready to eat. And I'm going to do up a plate so you can see what it'll look like paired with my homemade cornmeal muffins. I will put a link to that recipe down below as well, and it is in this series. All right, so here we go. We've got our chili all done up. It is ready for packaging. So I purchased these 16-ounce plastic containers on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description just to let you know that is an affiliate link. So if you do click on it and choose to buy, then you will be helping out my channel by giving me a little bit of kickback. So the reason why I chose these was because as a Red Seal chef, I really like these containers. They're heavy duty and they're very good for reusing. I can use them over and over and over again. I think I paid $32 for 48 of these or something like that. So they're quite reasonably priced, and I can make soups, sauces, all kinds of stuff, and put them in here, freeze them, and it doesn't take up as much space. And I also really like it because they're 16 ounce, which is 2 cups. They're great for just me and my son when it's just the two of us at home, and when it's my husband and his son as well, then we just take out 2. Okay, so I've got a plate made up here for you guys to take a look at. You can see kind of what this chili looks like. So it's quite beautiful. It's nice and thick. It is so good. Deer chili is wonderful too because it's not as fatty or whatever as beef is. And I just absolutely love wild game. I love knowing where my food is coming from. I love knowing that I myself or my husband or one of my boys has taken the time to go out and harvest that. We butcher it ourselves, we process it ourselves. So this truly is field to table, and it makes me really proud to say that we can do that. All right, everyone, here is the final plated dish, a beautiful deer chili with homemade cornbread muffins. Remember that recipe and tutorial video are already in the folder for the Planning for Hunting Season series. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what recipe would you like to see me create next.